Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. And I'm just going to give everyone a moment to join me on my holiday chat with Amy. So happy to be here with all of you. And some of you may have seen my posts that I've had go up this morning about sharing some really deep breakthrough thoughts. And before we get started, I would love for you to say hello, where you're from. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Amy Yamada, and I have been hosting Chat with Amy the last handful of months. And I thought during the holiday season, I would practice the gift of generosity and do a holiday chat with Amy between this week and December 22nd, just to really provide you with guidance, support, accountability, so that you can deeply connect with yourself, your vision, your ideal clients, your audience, so that you can make the impact and income that you've always wanted. And today I just had a really one of those just powerful mornings where I just felt like I was just open to receive these messages, and I just couldn't stop running into my journal and just writing them down. As soon as I thought I was done, I was like, oh my gosh, there's just so much coming through me. So if you're joining me live, go ahead and say hello. Give people a chance to say hello. I also have been noticing that I think sometimes I don't always see all the comments that come up. So I just wanted to see if you're willing to help me out, just to type in a comment, just to say hello, because I want to make sure that everything's working on my end, technology-wise. And I also love to see who's on. So I've even got my laptop here in case, from my phone to my laptop. Okay, Jess, I see you there, and right now you're the only one on, so I think others will join. So Jess, how are you doing, and what are you focusing on these days in your business? Go ahead and type in while we're allowing others to show up, and I'm just kind of checking on some things tech-wise. So bear with me for a moment. And hey, Barb, awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started and just trust that whoever's meant to be here will join in or watch the replay later. So yeah, I just had this morning where I just allowed myself to have some quiet space and time. And what was interesting about that was that I just really opened myself up because, oftentimes as a coach and someone who loves to serve and give and really guide and support others, I find myself really focusing out, which I love, and I don't always come back to focus in. And when I do, when I allow myself that sacred space where it's not about technology, it's not about being, on the phone or watching anything, any screens in front of me, or even reading, where I just allow myself to be, whether you call it meditation or in a quiet space, that's when I open myself up to just receive messages, and whatever your belief system is, I consider myself someone who really believes in the universe and connection and this whole human being experience. I believe every single one of us is here for a reason. And I also believe that sometimes we can get sidetracked by things that happen in our life, and then we develop these belief systems within us. And so the reason why I wanted to have this conversation today, I oftentimes will focus on marketing and sales conversations, but I also love to focus on mindset. And today I just wanted to go a bit deeper because why not, And I even, I have this journal that my friend Olga gave me. It's golden notebook. And like I said, this morning I couldn't stop writing in it. And then while I was getting ready, I kept running back to my notebook because I kept having these messages come through. I'm like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so powerful. And it's not that I've never thought of them before, but they just came through me in a more powerful way than ever before. And so I wanted to share them with you because I believe there's a reason why you're here watching this right now. And if any part of this resonates with you or you have an aha moment, I hope that you will take it in and actually do something about it. Because I think that when we have these messages come through us, it's for a reason. And I think that sometimes we can get so caught up in our heads about what's not right or what's not working that we can be in this either this place of spinning or a downward spiral, and life is too short for that. If you're just joining me now, please do say hello. I want to make sure that I'm getting all these comments because like I said, the last few days there have been times when I haven't seen the live comments come through, but it looks like I'm seeing them today. So awesome. Jess, I just wanted to say that I saw you said that you left your day job to start doing social media for small businesses on your own. That is a big step, so congratulations. Okay, so sharing really deep thoughts of breakthroughs this morning. Hey, Paul, welcome. Okay, so the first thing that came through this morning to me, that I was just in this space of awareness, is that your life is an embodiment and a reflection of your belief system. Your life is a reflection and an embodiment of your belief system. So, some of these thoughts are inspired by things like the 4 agreements. I remember years ago when I first read the 4 agreements, and also following people like David Nagel, and, of course, years ago watching The Secret, just really thinking about your life as it is. And when you see what's around you, what's happening, it is all a reflection of what's happening internally. So if you're not happy with it, then just really, first of all, just do an assessment, look around you. And I'm just gonna reference my journal because there's so much that I wanna make sure that I have come through today. So you can ask yourself, like, what, if my life is a reflection, an embodiment of my belief system, like what are my beliefs, whether they're really great beliefs that keep me open and moving forward and playing bigger, or are they limiting beliefs? So this is a chance to do an assessment on your life and see if my life is a reflection of my embodiment of my belief system, then what is being represented? And this is not a time to shame yourself or blame yourself or be in self-judgment. That is not helpful, but instead to just allow yourself to take a step back and look at it and look at the different areas of your life, in your health, in your thoughts, in your relationships, in your calendar, your daily practice. So sometimes I'll hear people say, or I myself have said, well, I don't really have a daily practice. You do have a daily practice. You are practicing something every single day. It just is a matter of, is this practice working for you or not? Are you practicing habits that are in line with your vision, or practicing habits that are in line with something else? So there is a daily practice. It's just about, is this practice working for you? And also your bank account, what's being represented there? There's no judgment, it's just an awareness. So if we can stop being in shaming and blaming and complaining and being in a victim mindset, we can at least allow ourselves to say, okay, if my life is a reflection, an embodiment of my belief system, then I get to do an assessment, take a look at everything and see what's working for me and what's not working for me, and then shift some things, because if it's really not working, then instead of sitting back or going into a downward spiral and being in self-beat-up mode and self-doubt, we actually get to stand in our power and make some things happen. So think about that. I'm going to be thinking about this too, because I've just had these major breakthrough thoughts this morning where it's like, what is my daily practice right now? What am I practicing on a daily basis, and is it working for me? There are things that are definitely working for me, and there are things that are not working for me. So I get to be aware of them first and then make some decisions and take some actions. So just again, what are you practicing? If you're not happy, then there's something that you're practicing that is not working. Just think about that for a moment. What are you practicing? When you think about how you are spending your day, are you spending your day or are you investing your day? If you're spending it like it's just cash that you're throwing out the window, then you're going to look back on a life half lived. If you're really living an enriched life, then you're probably doing something on a daily basis that actually matters to you. And if not, this is where the deeper inner work happens. So this might be triggering some of you. I know sometimes when I get fired up and have a conversation like this, sometimes I have people that might put up a block and like, whoa, this is too much, and now I'm feeling really bad about myself. Notice what's coming up for you. Just notice. Think of it as, instead of, oh my gosh, now I'm starting to think about all these things that are coming up for me, that is an awareness that gets to come up for you. And you could say, oh, that's interesting. Okay, so why am I being triggered right now? Why am I feeling this way? What's coming up for me, and where do I get to go from here? So if you're just joining me, I'm going into my journal here from this morning because I kept having these major downloads from, I don't know, our universe, right? Okay, so the other piece of it is that, okay, so if you want to change something in your life, and speaking about practice, what is your daily practice, because you are practicing something, then it takes practice to change a habit. So if there's something that's not working, just think about, if something could be better in my life, what would it be? And what thing do I get to practice in order to get to where I want to go? It's not that we can always flip the switch overnight. It's kind of like when people have a New Year's resolution and they're like, I'm going to start working out and work out every single day for the entire year, right? It doesn't always happen overnight, and it doesn't always happen perfectly. But if you decide that I'm going to practice it every day, like you can even use that word instead of do. Like, yes, you're doing it, but if you think of it as, I get to practice this today, because until it becomes a habit, it is a practice. And maybe it's always a practice. I don't know. I'm just, again, sharing with you these downloads that have come to me today. So you get to focus on the effort. So one of the things that one of my favorite quotes, when you hear a quote from someone, you're like, stop everything. I need to write this down. So a dear friend and colleague and coach of mine, her name's Jean Jean Bills, she's amazing. She and I went through a leadership training together this year. She's just has a huge heart. She's amazing. And one of the things she said several years ago when she and I were in an endurance program together, this is in 2015, was she said after the half marathon that we all ran at the Big Sur, she said, we were all sharing our breakthroughs in the endurance race. And she said, one of the things I realized was in the training, I didn't always see the results on a daily basis. I still did the training, but I didn't always see the results on a daily basis. But what I learned was when I actually did the race, I was efficient, I was faster than I thought I would have been, like all these great things happened. So what the thing that she said that really landed with me was focus on the effort, the results are coming. Focus on the effort, the results are coming. So even if you don't see them today, even if today you're fired up because you're like, oh my gosh, I was on chat with Amy, she got me fired up, I'm gonna do something, and maybe you don't see the result today, but if you focus on the effort and if you practice it every single day, the results will come. They just will. They may not come when you want them to, but they will come if you don't stop. And what I've noticed in entrepreneurs, I've worked with hundreds of entrepreneurs at this point, I've spoken in front of thousands of them, and what I notice is that as soon as something seems hard or too hard, or as if they can't handle it, or if life happens, suddenly they can just go into this downward spiral. And I've been there, so I'm not saying I haven't been there, but it's when we allow things to stop us from our highest potential and our highest purpose and our biggest message and mission we want to move forward in the world, like as soon as we stop, if we stop, then the result will not come. It's like we put in the effort until things get hard or boring or routine or mundane or it seems like it's taking forever. Why would we stop? If we care that much about our vision, our mission, our message, why would we stop ourselves from the very thing that is going to get us there? So now even in my own journey, if I have a bigger goal that's coming, I always have a bigger vision for myself. I always allow myself to just think, okay, what do I get to do today that's in line with my vision that is here to make a difference? And if I get caught up in a limiting belief, I take notice of it. I'm like, okay, thank you. Thank you, limiting belief. I'm going to do this anyway. So even if I don't have the confidence, I have the courage, and I've chosen that courage because I'm not going to sit back and let life pass me by without me achieving my vision that is going to make a difference. So I just want to see some of your comments. If you're watching right now, I would love for you to say hello. Make sure my comments are still working. Like I was saying, through the last couple days, they haven't been great. Okay, so the next thing that was coming through me this morning, again, I'm on a roll here. And hey, Karina, thank you for joining me. Okay, so everything is either driven by your fear or your vision. So you get to decide, like this is, again, a chance to take notice. Are you allowing your fear to drive you? Or are you allowing yourself to be driven by your vision and your purpose and your mission? So one of my favorite things in the book, Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, I love her, she's the author of Eat, Pray, Love, is when she talks about when she's about to take on a new project, when she's about to start writing a new book. And what she does is she gets ready, like she kind of centers herself to get ready to go on this journey with writing a new book. And so she gave us this, I went to go see her speak at Ben Hall in Seattle a couple years ago. And she was talking about when she's about to start writing this book, how she sees it as almost like she's hopping in a car to go on a road trip and an adventure. And then she has these characters in her life that are called creativity and fear. And what she said was that, she knows that fear is going to show up. So it's not that she can just diminish fear and it'll be gone forever. That just doesn't work. So instead, if she's getting in the car for her road trip and she's about to start this new project, so for entrepreneurs, that could be launching a new business, it could be launching a new program or product or service. For me, it's launching a new and exciting retreat called Powerhouse. I'm so excited about it. And what I get to do is just decide that I get to create this amazing thing that I'm creating, and creativity is going to be by my side. Fear is also going to be there too. And what Elizabeth Gilbert said that was so profound, she said, fear is going to be there. And so she has a conversation with creativity and fear as if they are two characters. She said, creativity, we're about to go on a ride. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to get our creative juices flowing. We're going to make magic happen. And we're going to write this beautiful book. And then she'll have a conversation with fear. And she'll say, fear, I know you're going to join me anyway. I wish I could just tell you not to come, but that's just not going to happen. So you can come with us on our journey, on our road trip. And here's the thing, we do have some rules. You can come with us, but never, ever, ever will you ever get to drive. You will never get to drive. And I love that because I can just picture her in this car driving with creativity, fears in the back seat, kicking her chairs, like, you gotta be careful, you probably shouldn't do this. Who are you to think you can do this? And she's like, I hear you, I'm driving. Creativity is in the front seat with me. So we're driving this and you're in the back seat. So it's not that the fear is not going to be there. If you're launching a group program, if you're launching a new concept or idea, for me it's launching the most exciting thing I've ever launched, Powerhouse. And I've already got a group of incredible women, entrepreneurs who are joining me. And I know there are others who are looking for their next big breakthrough in their business and in their life. And they're going to be on this journey with me. And there's fear. There's all sorts of fear. And I'm going to drive it anyway because I believe so much in my vision. And I'm making my daily decisions that are in line with my vision because there's no way in my life that I'm going to let fear drive me. And that is not just in business. If I let fear drive me in everything I did, I would not be speaking on stages. I would not be putting myself out there on Facebook Live. I would not be telling you that I had downloads from the universe and I journaled about it and I'm sharing it with you this morning, which is super vulnerable because people might be watching this like, who does she think she is? I'm okay with that because fear is not driving me. This is part of my vision. And part of my vision is also to help others to stop living and playing small and being in their fear, letting fear take the front driver's seat, instead of saying, wait a minute, life is precious and I know that I matter. I know that I'm here for a reason. I know that I'm here to walk alongside other purpose-driven people to make a difference, to have a ripple effect in this life, and to know that when we can stand stronger together, anything is possible. Anything. And every single thing that has happened in my life has happened for me. Even if I can look back and be angry about it, sad about it, grieving about it, just feeling like, why did this thing have to happen? Well, maybe it had to happen so that you could become the person that you are today to help other people who are going through the same thing that you overcame. And maybe you feel like you haven't overcome it yet, but you have because you're still here and you're still breathing. So you may still be healing and that's okay. Hey, Ashley, thank you for joining me. Kate, yes, fear's in the backseat. That's right. Fear belongs in the backseat. Okay, so are you loving this? Is this inspiring to you guys? I was feeling inspired and it's like, it's just coming through me. So, excuse me. Of course, I was so passionate about everything. I was like, I didn't even grab any water, so bear with me. So one of the reasons why I feel so fired up today is that I'm tired. I'm tired of witnessing people playing small. I'm tired of watching people allow their dreams to slip through their hands and their visions. I'm tired of having people come to me saying, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, yeah, you and everybody else. You think I always think I can do this? There's many times when I think I can't do this, but I do it anyway because I don't want to look back on a life and say, well, I played small. I didn't take steps forward because I was too afraid. There's no way I'm going to be okay with that. So if I can share that message with others where it hits them at their core, where they're just like, holy crap, I have been playing small. I have been self-sabotaging the very thing that I want the most. And it's not even about want, it's about purpose. What is your purpose? You know, so when I was thinking about this today, I'm thinking about how I've been witnessing people playing small. I have witnessed myself playing small as well. And allowing themselves, okay, so this is what came through this morning, to play into their weaknesses, right? So they're just like, okay, instead of me focusing on my strengths and my gifts, and maybe sometimes people don't even know, like I was talking to this woman yesterday, she's like, I don't even know what I should be doing. Like, I don't even know what my gifts are. I don't even think I have any gifts. I'm like, are you kidding me? Let's spend some time together to peel back the layers of a belief system, because remember what I said at the beginning, your life is a reflection and embodiment of your belief system. This is from my journal from this morning, just came through me. So let's take a look at your belief system, because what your words are saying to me is that there's something telling you that you are not good enough. And welcome to the human being experience and a limiting belief that every single person I've ever connected with that has been vulnerable enough to share with me that they have had that thought. Who am I to think I can do this? You are not alone if you've had that thought or if you're having that thought right now. I have that thought all the time because I stretch myself. I'm like, who am I to think that I can coordinate this premium retreat for a group of women to all fly in February and have it be this beautiful mansion on the ocean? Who am I to think I can do this? And I'm like, I'm Amy Dec. I can do this. I just decide. I get into my power, into my voice. I'm like, I am creating something amazing. And as soon as I step back into that energy, my inbox gets flooded, or I get Facebook messages and somebody says, you know what? I want to know more about this powerhouse. I like what you're talking about, and I'm ready for my next big breakthrough. And I know there's a way to make this happen. It's just funny how it's all a reflection. If something's not working for you in your life, allow yourself to do an assessment on the reflection that is around you, the embodiment that is around you, and go within. Check in with yourself. Check in with what's being represented. So another question, I could go on and on today. So the other thing that I was thinking about today is a question you can ask yourself, which is, where are you not free in your life? Where are you not free in your life? You know, this week I've been talking to a lot of entrepreneurs around the world as I've been putting myself out there to my audience and my online following, and have given people the chance to talk to me one-on-one, whether it's been via phone or Skype or Zoom. And there was a woman that I was talking to that I could tell was in a lot of pain. She was deeply unhappy. And she was talking about, even though we talk about business, but I always know that underneath it all, if they're not where they want to be, there's a core belief system that is keeping them small, and they're not living their truth. So in her case, I could just hear some things around her marriage, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to ask you a question, and you don't have to answer me, but are you happy in your marriage? Like, I focus on business, but I believe it's all intertwined. And she broke down into tears. She's like, no, I'm not. It's not working for me. We've tried, you know, and I know that pain. Like, I remember it well. I was married before, and I know that emptiness that one can feel inside and feeling so alone. And I don't say this for you to feel any sympathy for me, but instead it was just an awareness of, I am not living my truth right now. I'm not in the relationship that I believe I should be in. And either something gets to change and we get to work on it and make it amazing, or we get to have an honest conversation. And for me, for a while, we didn't have an honest conversation because we wanted to be kind to each other. It wasn't that there was something really bad going on, it just wasn't great. And finally, we had an honest conversation. So this is where she's not free in her life. And for you, any of you who are watching, there might be areas of your life that you're not feeling free. You know, I'm taking an assessment of my own life. Like, I'm in a great relationship now. My business is thriving. I've got an incredible team. I love my clients. Where am I not free? I have not been consistent with exercise, and I'm feeling not free about that right now. I'm like, wow, once I'm in it, I'm consistent and everything's good, but I'm consistently inconsistent. So I get to really, and I giggle because that's my vulnerability, right? So it's not even that it's funny. It's really not funny. It's like I'm not taking care of myself. So where's that, an embodiment and a reflection of my belief system? I'm sure it's a worthiness thing. So I get to say, okay, if what's coming up for me that I'm not working out on a consistent basis, why am I not, aligned? So do you see how you can just take an assessment and then make a decision to do something differently? Where do you play small? Where are you playing small in your life? This is your chance to write things down and say, okay, not from a place of judgment, but to allow yourself to just think about, where am I not free and where am I playing small? And where do I get to go from here? It's time to show up differently. If you're tired of it, if you're tired of what your life is looking like right now, choose to show up differently. Do something different today where you're like, I'm going to show up as my best self today. No matter where you are in the world, no matter what time of day it is when you're watching this, if you were to show up as your best self, what would you do differently? And what you could do as an exercise is map out the hours between now and the end of the day, or if you're watching this at night, for tomorrow. If I were to show up as my best self, how would I show up differently? What would I do? What would I do? And I believe if you're watching this right now, there's a reason for it, and there's something that you want to do to show up differently. So why not start today? Okay, I'm gonna do this. My journal, I'm telling you, all of these messages came through me today. It felt so good. So would love to see any comments. If you're just joining me, say hello. I always like to see who's on here. So the next thing that I wrote down that was coming through me today was to just unleash your truth. I always think about the famous words of, the truth shall set you free. And I used to think of that as beautiful words that were about telling the truth, like when you're speaking to others. But I really believe that it starts with telling the truth to yourself. Just telling the truth to yourself. Like, what is your honest truth? What are you sugarcoating or hiding or suppressing or avoiding in your life? What are you tolerating? Where are you settling in your life? And again, this might be bringing up some things for you, but I think it's empowering when we allow ourselves to say, okay, I know there are parts of my life that I am either settling or I'm not living into my truth. Again, to give the example of the woman who I spoke to recently and that was and is in an unhappy marriage, I remember that feeling and I was not speaking my truth. I wasn't speaking my truth, therefore I was not living my truth, and my limiting belief was that I don't deserve to live authentically to me, authentic to myself. So when you think about it that way, it's just like, I think it's very, very freeing when we allow ourselves to be honest with ourselves first. What is not working for me? And not get caught up in a victim mindset or poor me or this happened to me, but instead stepping in your power, stepping in your voice and saying, okay, where am I not being honest with myself? What am I so done with in my life? Where am I not upholding what is most important to me and just starting to live into that? So when you're true to yourself, then you can start really thinking about what gets to happen next. You know, where do I get to show up differently? Who can I be? You know, who am I being in my daily life? What do I get to do? You know, I just think about something my mom used to say to me, even in my adult life, if I would ever ask her for advice, and she would say the most beautiful words, which would sometimes frustrate me, by the way, but but now I can, you know, remember them and appreciate them. And she would say to me, Amy, you know what you need to do. You just need to do it. You know what you need to do. You just need to do it. And whenever I think of my mom's wise words, it's so true. You know, if you find yourself saying, I don't know, don't buy into the I don't know that you're saying out loud. Take a little time and go within. On some level, you already know what you need to do, and you just need to do it. And stop putting it off. Just make a decision today. Think about the opportunities that are in front of you right now. Just think about them for a moment and just decide, is this opportunity in line with my bigger vision? Is it in line with my purpose? Is it in line with my mission and my message? And if I don't know what that mission is or that message is or that purpose is, be willing to do some work to gain clarity on it. Reach out to someone like myself or someone you know that is already living their message and their purpose and they are fired up about life on a daily basis. And open yourself up to possibility. You have every opportunity to live an incredible life, and we are not promised any amount of time. I really realized that when my mom went to the hospital and when she was on life support and when she passed away, I really had a moment of, wow, we are really not here forever. And it might even be a shorter amount of time than we think is ahead of us. So why would we not make every single day count? You know, another list that you can make is, where am I not clear in my life? Where do I not feel clear in my relationships? Where do I not feel clear with myself or my health or my money or my abundance? Or where do I not feel clear in my home? Where do I not feel clear? And do some clearing. You know, I know Ashley's watching this right now. She's someone who's really great at helping people get clear internally and externally. She and I have had conversations about this, about how, you know, if you look around your home, so this is Ashley Moon Stanfield, so if you want to connect with her, she's great. But if you look around your home and the different areas of your home, it is a reflection of that area in your life. You know, if you've got lots of papers and bills piling up and you have a messy office, if you have a home office, then where's that a reflection of what's happening in your life? Or if there's clutter everywhere, like, where's that a reflection of what's happening internally? So what Ashley does is she actually helps you to notice what is happening in your space, both internally and externally, and she helps you remove it. And when you remove it, imagine how clear you will feel both internally and externally. It is super powerful what she does. Yeah, so definitely reach out to Ashley Moon. She just commented below. So just think about that. You know, when you think about where you're playing small and where, you know, you get to shift, I think it's really empowering when you acknowledge and be honest about where you are and you unleash your truth. Like, just unleash it. When you unleash your truth, that is when the magic happens. When you're willing to put yourself out there and connect with others and let them know the message that you embody. I was thinking about this morning. And of course, I would love to hear any comments or takeaways. But right before I was about to get onto Facebook Live, I had one more, and I'm sure it's going to continue because when you're open, then the floodgates are open to receive all these messages. But I want you to imagine if your life were a stage. Just imagine it. Imagine if your life were a stage and if your soul was about to take center stage. Imagine if your soul were about to take center stage. What would your soul say? What did it come here to do? Your soul is in this human being experience and is here for a reason. And within this beautiful human being experience, it has all its ups and downs and its adventures and its joys and its pains and all this texture to our lives. In this human being experience, you have a voice. Your soul has a voice. Whatever your belief system is, whether it's your soul, your spirit, your character, your personality, whatever it is, so don't get caught up in that. But if your soul were to take center stage and say something to a crowd of people, what would it say? What would the message be? And if you're not clear on that, definitely connect with me. Like, this is not a pitch. I just am so passionate about this because if you are not living to your highest potential, and if you're not allowing your soul to experience this human being experience at its fullest capacity, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Every single day is an opportunity. If you're playing into your weaknesses and you're focusing on that, you're going to have more of that. If you're focusing on stress, frustration, lack, scarcity, uncertainty, you're going to have more on that. If you're going to focus on abundance and love and compassion and purpose and feeling alive every single day, on your wellness, on your health, if you're here to live to your fullest abilities, then why would you not start today? What would your soul say if they spoke from the stage? I wanted to give you this as my gift. I thought about this morning when I was thinking about jumping on Facebook Live and doing my usual thing, which of course I love every single day. But with all this stuff that came through me, I was like, I'm going to go deep today. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to share from my journal, share from my heart, share from my soul, because my soul is here to take center stage and have a voice. And I know that every single one of you also has a voice and a message and a mission and a purpose. And I want to know what it is. I want you to comment below or reach out to me and tell me, this is my mission. This is what I stand for. And as an entrepreneur, we get to really put everything behind that mission and say, it gets to be everything that I do every day because it is beyond business. It is beyond business. Whether I'm talking to clients, colleagues, or friends or family, I'm always thinking about how can I uplift them? How can I show them what I see in them, just as others have seen in me a greater vision than I can sometimes see in myself. Oftentimes when I go to my coach, it's not to teach me another strategy or to complain about what's not happening or to blame her for anything that is not success in my life, but instead to say, okay, this is where I am right now. This is where I want to go. And what I need from you right now is to believe in me until I believe in myself at that level of what I want to accomplish. That's all I need right now. Because if I'm not believing in my bigger vision for some reason, then I am living according to a limiting belief. But if I can believe in somebody else's belief in me until I get there, I'm golden. It's all good. Kate says, rise up. Ashley says, thank you. Kate says, just discussing that concept with my son this morning. Truth in all things sets us free. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, I feel like I'm, when you're like preachy and you're like getting hot. Whew, preachy in here. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. Just all these things came through. I journaled about it in this golden notebook. And, if this has resonated with you, I hope that you will share this. If you have been inspired in any way, I hope you'll click on the share button and share with others what was your biggest takeaway. And because I'm so committed to helping people to break through their limiting beliefs, gain clarity on their purpose, their passion, their mission, and then really get clear with the message that they want to put out there in the world. To me, it's more than marketing. We call it marketing, but to me, it is your soul's message. For those of you who are available today at 11 a.m. Pacific, if you haven't already heard, I am hosting a free training that is all around attracting your best clients. and even leveraging things like Facebook to do that in an authentic and personally connected way. And I'm even going to share with you my 3-step formula on how I've built a multiple 6-figure coaching business and what I'm going to be using towards my 7-figure coaching business. So if you want to join me, you still can join me. So I'm sure you'll see all over this page, like in the banner and whatnot, my opt-in page and whatnot. So you're able to gain free access, and would love to hear your voices on that call. So you can join me there. And for those of you women, so this one's just for the ladies, sorry gentlemen, but for those of you who are powerhouse women entrepreneurs, I have such a big invitation for you for my Powerhouse program and retreat. And it's already attracting such incredible women who are highly generous, they're influential, they're compassionate, and they're committed to their next big breakthrough in their businesses and in their lives. And they're all about coming up with their ultimate message that's going to make a difference in the world. So we still have some spots available. And what it is that every single week we're jumping on a group Zoom call, just an intimate group of powerhouse women entrepreneurs. And we're each sharing our commitments for the week, our declarations for the week, and allowing ourselves to be held accountable to those declarations. And of course, I'm in there also coaching each of these incredible women. And they're actually coaching each other. So it's not just about the Amy Yamada show. Like, these people are really in it to help each other out. And then we're all flying to this gorgeous mansion on the ocean on Captiva Island in Florida in February. And it's going to be the most epic transformational retreat. I mean, I cannot even wait. So if this is resonating with you and you're just like, you know what, I'm ready to have my next big breakthrough, and I'm ready to connect with other influential entrepreneurs, then definitely send me a private message or comment below, and either myself or my team will get in touch with you. There's an application process for it, so we're being very selective on who we're inviting, because we really want to have each person be a contribution to this experience and also be committed to the breakthrough. So no complainers. It's not for you if you're a complainer, if you're really in a space of like, I don't know if I can do this. Just really, I'm looking for people who got positive energy, who are here to like really be open and coachable and ready to make a difference. So let me know, and I'll be posting some things about Powerhouse. Once you see the location, I mean, anyone who's seen the videos on it are like, oh my gosh, this place looks stunning. It's like living the millionaire's dream for 5 days and 4 nights in February when not a lot of the other things are happening. So we're gonna have my personal chef out there. We're gonna do yoga in the mornings. We're gonna have time for masterminding and then work sessions. So you'll actually get work done while you're there, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So I've got Olga Plastino coming. She's gonna capture it with her amazing photography. We're gonna do tons of social media. So if this resonates with you and you wanna come with me and this group of incredible powerhouse group of women, I would love for you to comment below or send me a message or reach out to me. So on that note, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Thank you for joining me, and click on the share button. Have an awesome rest of your day and weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.